Alright, hello everyone. Today we're going to be making another Apex news video because there's a lot of news coming out just obviously recently, and this has to do with the new trailer premiere that's just went up on the actual Apex YouTube channel. Now it's really interesting because this is going to be the least amount of time between a actual first trailer before the actual season launches. And that is going to be 2 hours. Normally, it's like 3 weeks where we normally get our first trailer, and then in the first trailer is normally like the stories from Outlands. Then we get like a launch trailer, gameplay trailer, battle pass trailer, meet the legend trailer, things like that. But for this one, we're just getting a gameplay trailer, and that's it. And this is quite literally coming out on the day of the Apex Legends launch, 2 hours beforehand. Now you might be thinking, why the fuck would they ever want to do that? This seems very lazy, and that was the first reaction for me as well. And if you see last season as well, this season I guess you could say, it was the same kind of story. We only got a gameplay trailer and that was it, as well as like some like dev stream thing. And you might be thinking that is lazy. I think that is kind of part of it. I think that is definitely a part of it, where it seems like they are definitely cutting down on the amount of trailers, the amount of hype that they want to build before a season. But what they effectively done this season was they practically destroyed all hype before it even began, in a way, because they essentially just went, yep, here's just a new map, and here's a gameplay trailer, like a few days beforehand, and that's it. There was no like hype to be built across like weeks upon weeks, so that people were like, oh, I can't wait to actually get into the game and stuff like that. There was none of that. It was practically just, here's a trailer, you know, wait a few days and then you can play it. And it really made it so people were like, well, what's actually in the season? It's a new map. And that's another thing as well, there was practically nothing in the new season as well. A new map, yeah, great, but we've always got like a new legend or a new weapon or something alongside of a new map. So to have just a new map and like a few new modes and stuff across the season, it isn't really enough. And just recently EA released their revenue split that they received off this season, and they realized that last season, or this season I guess you could say, it wasn't really good. It really wasn't good. They obviously added the new battle pass system where you get 2 battle passes per season, but although they thought they would get more money off of it, they didn't. And they basically said at the end of the statement that for the next year or so of Apex, they don't expect to make as much money because they're going to try to, in fact, improve the game no matter the amount of revenue or money that it costs. Which is overall a really good thing to say. Whether they actually go through with that or not, I don't know. But there are a lot of things that they need to fix in the game. Namely, the cheaters, the skill-based matchmaking, progression, things like that. So let's get back to the actual issue at hand here, and that is that this trailer now, rather than being like a few days ahead of the actual season like what it was this season, this trailer is literally 2 hours before. Now you may be thinking, okay, that's even worse then. There's literally only 2 hours of hype to be built there. But I think it's actually, in a way, better than both methods, 2 days before and 3 weeks before. Because in a way, you're building hype on the day of the launch, and so everyone will rush to the YouTube channel and check out the trailer, and then there's just wait 2 hours or so, and then it's like you can play it. There's a lot of hype that is essentially built straight away of all this stuff that you've never seen before, which, by the way, this is like the first season in ages that I really haven't had many leaks. I mean, we're starting to see a few leaks now, but that's only because the Epic Games store leaked it early. It wasn't actually like an internal leaker. It was probably just an accident. And so that's obviously a really good sign. But also because we really haven't seen any early gameplay of any creators or any leaks, of course, we're really going into this blind. There could be stuff in this update that we have no idea about, and this might be the first time where we're actually able to play the game and have practically not much knowledge about what's actually in the game. And so that creates a new layer of excitement, because normally we're just like, okay, we'll know what's in the game, we've read the patch notes and stuff like that, But now, I don't think the patch notes are going to be released a day beforehand, because it wouldn't make sense in the catalogue of events that's going to happen. Because we're going to get the gameplay trailer, and normally the patch notes come after the gameplay trailer, but the gameplay trailer is 2 hours before the season. So if the patch notes are going to get released, it's going to be at the maximum 2 hours before the end of the season, before the start of the season. So it really is going to be like boom, boom, boom. Like, you're in the season, like, you know. Now, the only thing that's kind of worrying us is the fact that trailers and teasers have largely been used as a way of, like, the last month of a season to kind of, like, dim down the season a little bit, because the trailers and the teasers normally cover the kind of popularity. It's an easy way for the popularity of Apex to stay alive. Now, because in the last month, I feel a lot of creators have kind of stopped playing Apex because it's felt dry. That might be why, because we're normally, you know, expecting teasers and trailers and things to do and watch around this time, but we just haven't had it. Now, obviously, there's two different ways to obviously save this, and whether it be to go back to the old style, where we actually have more trailers and a bigger duration to be hyped over, or keep the current one, well, the new one that they're trying to test out, where it's like literally 2 hours before the season, and we get the first actual mention of the season, to kind of captivate on that hype. But then we have, like, shorter seasons. I know some of the games have shorter seasons. Even Apex Legends Mobile, I believe, had 2-month-long seasons, I think it was. So essentially, for every 2 seasons we have on Apex Legends Mobile had essentially 3. So, in a way, I think that would be even better, because in a way, we could see more content more frequently, which is great. But then they could also have more collection events, which is obviously revenue for Apex. You do always have to, see it from the other perspective, because you have to see it from, EA's point of view. They want to make more, a monetary gain on what they're making, and that's obviously a very large influence for them, as they came out with an actual response to the amount of revenue they made last season, as I mentioned. And so, yeah, it's a completely different approach to what we are normally used to, and it's actually kind of also isn't as well, because this actually was the approach on Apex's original launch, where they literally came out of nowhere and said, this is a new game called Apex Legends, you can play it right now. And it's like, that's kind of what we're getting before this season. So I wonder if it's going to be something very serious involved. We have the name of the season, it's called Into the Rift now. And so perhaps we have the whole OG Apex type of thing. Maybe that's why they're taking this approach, because it's going back to OG Apex. Maybe it's the OG way of releasing trailers. But yeah, this is all speculation, of course, because we really have no information. This is like the first time in ages that we literally have nothing. And I kind of like that. That means that we have no real way to gauge how this actually will go ahead. But of course, for a lot of people, not having these trailers reduces the hype. It makes you go, well, obviously there's not going to be anything in this season worthwhile. But I think they want you to think that, because there might actually be a lot of great changes in this season. If there isn't great changes, by all means, we can shit on the game 100%. But if there's just like really good changes, like, an anti-cheat, like massive anti-cheat overhaul and things like that, and like, legend mastery or whatever, then by all means, I am like all for this new way of going ahead. So let me know what you guys think about this new kind of, I guess, advertising strategy, you could say, EA is trying to go for. And do you like it, or would you prefer the old way? I'm on the fence right now. So yeah, I would like to know what you guys think about it. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.